Chinese automaker BYD reported on October the 29th an 89% year-on-year plunge in third quarter net profit after 3 consecutive months of decreases in monthly sales taking place during that period. 2019 was the last great year of auto sales on record. BYD said its Q3 net profit was down based on falls across the board in its electric vehicle sales and plug-in hybrid sales, and directly linked to its sliding sales performance. In September, BYD sold only 40,000 vehicles, facing a double-digit year-on-year decline of an additional 15%. Before that, the automaker suffered 17% and 14% decreases in July and August sales respectively. BYD saw its combined sales of electric cars and plug-in hybrids fall 12%, 23.5%, and 51% year over year in July, August, and September. It was around about this time when Elon Musk was quoted as saying, BYD's electric cars suck. And at the time, he might have been right. There's a narrative right now that's been falsely created by EV advocates. And that is that if you've got an electric car, you can sell it. There is so much demand for EVs that every manufacturer that can produce EVs is selling all they can make. That is not true. In fact, it's completely false. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. If you're new, we have done, I think, 2,300 videos since we started this channel not long ago. It was about maybe 20 months ago. So make sure you check out some of those videos. Lots of information there. So, auto market worldwide. It's shrinking, believe it or not. It's shrunk for the last basically 3 years in a row. It's never going to return to what it was in, say, 2017-18. That's never going to happen. It's probably going to keep on shrinking. That's what everyone believes. In Europe, the market has shrunk significantly. In the US, the market has shrunk as well. It's down 21% from where we're at in 2019 in the US. But that's a good result. I mean, if you compare that to the European market, that's down about 30% to where they were at in the third quarter of 2019. This means the pie is shrinking. So this is actually a zero-sum game. I mean, people don't realize. They keep saying stuff like, oh, if you've got all the EVs you can sell, you'll sell them. Well, actually, is that really true? No, it's not. I mean, if you've got a compelling EV for a good price, then you can sell it, yes. But for example, Audi just removed an EV from the market, didn't really tell anyone, they kept it on the quiet, that wasn't selling. They admitted that they removed it because no one was buying it. What about the Mazda MX-30 EV? How many of those have been selling in the US? Well, do a quick Google. None. Basically none. Is it because there are none available? No, there's some available. What about the Jaguar I-Pace? Are they available? Yes. Are they selling? No, they're not selling. I can tell you now that plenty of dealerships do have EVs. But yeah, they're not selling. Even Hyundai, right? The Ioniq 5, everyone wants it. The Kia EV6, everyone wants it. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people want those EVs because they're very good. But Hyundai do make another EV that not many people want. What about the Nissan Leaf? What about that vehicle? Is that selling well? It's not. Its sales have continued to crater month after month after month after month. So we've created this false narrative within our community, right? Within this kind of group of people who believe the future is electric. And I believe that now pretty much every automaker in the world has realized that we were right all along and has joined in with us. Mercedes CEO has said, yes, the end is coming for gasoline-powered vehicles. I mean, not only a year ago, he was saying something entirely different. BMW, same story. So now they agree. But the point here is, because we've made this narrative that if you have an EV, you'll sell it. Therefore, when we see numbers like this, we downgrade the value of those numbers. For example, all of us thought NIO and XPeng, right? We thought, in 12 months' time, their sales will be up again. They'll be up another 100%. XPeng was saying they'd sell 300,000 EVs this year. NIO was saying they'd be doing big things. They're not. Nothing much has happened for those two companies this year. Why? It's because competition in China is enormous. There's so many choices. There's so many options. And the thing is, even amidst all those choices and options, Tesla and BYD are selling everything they can make. They are the only two companies really who are producing EVs en masse at scale and who have massive backlogs in orders. So we need to pay attention to these two companies. What are they actually doing? Well, we all know what BYD is doing. We all have seen BYD sales. EV sales are up 300%, more than 300% versus last year, which is incredible. But Tesla has recently, the value of the stock has recently dropped by about 50%. And is this justified? Well, US auto sales are down 21% versus Q3 of 2019. I'm just going to mention that again. Tesla sales are up 170% during that period of time. They've sold everything they can make. Everything. And some of their competitors haven't. We like to say they have, but the truth is that they haven't. Well, of course, a lot of them have sold everything they can make, but not all of them. Quite a number of them haven't. Now, US auto sales were actually up 1% in the third quarter of 2022 compared to the third quarter of 2021, but they were down 13% compared to the third quarter of 2020 and down 21% compared to the third quarter of 2019, which is really the most recent year where we have real results. I mean, 2021 is not really a year of real results because we had the COVID pandemic. 2019, those results that year, we use those as a measuring stick of what the auto market can be and maybe should be. Now, as you can see, the US auto market has contracted. So has the European market. So has pretty much every car market in the world aside from China's this year. Now, the following two charts from Clean Technica show the change across the industry in terms of percentage and also in terms of volume change. The volume change indicates in Q3 2022 that US auto sales were down by almost 500,000 compared to Q3 2020 and down by almost 1 million compared to Q3 2019. Some brands in particular are really struggling and being impacted by this decline in auto sales, and not just by the decline in auto sales, but I would say more impacted by the disruption of gasoline-powered vehicles by electric-powered vehicles. Brands who have declined their sales during this period of time significantly are Ford, Chevrolet, GMC, Dodge, Lincoln, Mini, Infiniti, and Honda. Toyota rebounded very slightly in Q3 of 2021 compared to Q3 of 2020, but then it dropped below both of those levels in Q3 2022. For Honda, it was even worse. Honda declined 3 years in a row, 2019 to 2021, as some others did, but their sales in Q3 2022 dropped more than ever. Honda's press release announcing quarterly sales said this: American Honda overcomes transportation issues as sales improve over summer months. Now, this was nonsensical. Honda's sales were down 30% during that quarter, and they're just continuing to drop like what we've never seen before from Honda. They're in significant trouble. Now, Kia and Hyundai, their sales are around about flat. They're doing okay. Of course, then you've got companies like BMW, whose sales dropped from Q3 2019 to Q3 2020, but then have risen a small amount in Q3 of 2022. Now, 4 other automakers in significant trouble in the US: Jeep, Nissan, Ram, and Subaru. Clean Technica says that they have followed Honda's lead and declined for 4 years in a row in the third quarter. Ram and Subaru declined a little bit less than others, while Nissan has been hemorrhaging sales, and I've pointed that out on this channel. Nissan and Honda are 2 of the most at-risk automakers in the world. One big problem for them is they are very much not ready for the future transition to EVs, and their gasoline-powered vehicle sales are falling like a rock right now. In volume, Honda lost more than Nissan from Q3 2019 to Q3 2022, 190,000 versus 160,000, but Nissan was starting at a lower level and it lost more percentage basis points. Its sales were more than cut in half, while Honda's sales were cut just under that, about 42%. Volkswagen, Mercedes, and Audi, they were all around about flat. Lexus, their sales in Q3 of 2022 are well below Q3 2019. Tesla, their sales have increased every year, 4 years in a row. It is just truly a unicorn here. There's no way that even a Tesla fan as myself can change these facts to represent them in some other way. The truth is, this kind of performance is remarkable. There's only one other company in the world has done anything similar to them during this period of time, and that's BYD. Now, looking at the Q3 2022 sales chart, it's very, very likely that within a year's time, Tesla will become the fourth largest automaker by sales in the United States. They're not really in fact, they're very, very close to Subaru, Ram, Nissan, and not all that far behind Jeep, Hyundai, and Kia. I believe Honda's continuing decline in sales will go on, and likely by this time next year, Tesla will become the fourth largest automaker in the United States. I don't believe Toyota, Ford, and General Motors or Chevrolet will drop first, second, and third within the next couple of years. But it's inevitable that at least that companies such as Alfa Romeo, Jeep, Nissan, Buick, Mitsubishi, Volvo, Honda, and Fiat will continue to hemorrhage sales in the United States. Market share will decline. Really, none of them are fully prepared for this electric revolution we're seeing in the US, for the demand we're seeing for EVs. I mean, clearly, as you can see, the only way to maintain market share and grow your market share in any market worldwide is to make a lot of EVs, and none of them are doing that. Now, if we compare Q3 of 2020 to Q3 of 2022, Tesla grew its sales 122%. Behind Tesla in terms of percentage growth, next were BMW and Kia with 12% growth, followed by Hyundai and Porsche with 8% and 7% respectively. Now, the incredible thing is that 2020 was not really a great year for auto sales, but comparing Q3 of 2020 to Q3 of 2022, 21 auto brands in the US lost sales and lost market share. And the same thing has happened in China. In China, in the month of September, the best-selling SUV, period, in the market was actually the Tesla Model Y, surprisingly. Tesla actually delivered 47,000 Model Ys in China in the month of September. Surprisingly, the second best-selling electric SUV in the month of September in China was actually the BYD Yen Plus with 16,700 deliveries. The best-selling fully electric sedan in China in that same month was the Tesla Model 3 as well. Surprisingly, Tesla actually sold twice as many Model 3s in September in China as BMW sold 3 Series. This amazing disruption of the auto market worldwide and this continual shrinking of the auto market means this battleground for sales is going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. The automakers who make the most margin obviously have the most to play with. Not only margin is important, but production also matters. And right now, as you can see from all of these trends, if you make EVs, you can sell them as long as they're good. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.